in studio, but now we are doing what, Joe? Our second live show on site. The first one was in Chicago when we covered the AVP Gold Series, and now we're at Modesto, Baton Rouge favorite. If you like spicy margs, probably the go-to place.
It is the
one
best.
of my favorite in Baton Rouge.
It is the
I
best.
swear to you, if you show up now, you can get some for free. We have a gallon.
We got about
Yeah, we do. You can talk. The mic works.
I know. Yeah, we got a bunch of margs around here. Individual margs, just come get one. They're complimentary right now.
Yeah.
Half the amount that we started with, so you might want to get here.
And the food is really good too. I've already had some because I'm the one who shows up early.
You ate food already?
Really good.
What did you eat?
I'm glad you had lunch without telling us.
He lied. He did not. He just made that up. What'd
I
you
really
eat?
did. I had 2 of the tacos.
Tacos are good.
Everything's gas here. Definitely pull through. Kind of weird that we're doing 2 shows, but we told y'all we get y'all content all the time. We cover as much as we possibly can. We thought it'd be a cool idea to have a couple margs, talk some LSU baseball.
I'm fired up because I got a mini mic. I've wanted a mini mic.
The mini mics. Okay, look, mic'd up. Y'all know they film at our shop. They've got all the cameras. They've got all the microphones, all the equipment. So here we are with our mini mics from Amazon and Anthony's phone set up, ready to
Make
go.
it work. Make it work.
I think it looks good.
I did too. I'm excited. That's what I'm saying. I've always watched media people have this little mini mic thing, so I'm excited about it. You know?
That being said, I have not even introduced who I'm sitting with. So
The owner.
I think people know who Anthony is, but we are going to talk LSU baseball. So, of course, we have David False, who is our LSU baseball correspondent / specialist / analyst. I asked him what he wanted his title to be. He said he didn't know. He just
How about just
enjoys
Slash?
It. Just Slash.
Wow, that's
I
a
got
nickname
you.
from now on. That's it. Slash.
I got you. But I got to pause you because I know you're about to go on a roll. I do have to pull. Look at this mug. I told y'all, we've got some killer merch. In this cup are a whole bunch of names of the people who commented and subscribed to the channel. For 4 tickets to tomorrow's game. They're on the 15-yard line. You want a front row seat to watching Jaden Daniels lock in the Heisman Trophy? Tomorrow's the day. We've got 4 tickets, so I'm going to pull the name now on camera so you don't think it's rigged. I'm not looking either.
Abby Alonso. Oh, no.
Yeah, wouldn't that be crazy?
That's the one with the tab right there.
That's, Stephen Miller. So,
Congrats, Stephen.
congrats, Stephen. I'm sorry I got distracted because my sorority sisters just walked in. Stephen Miller, you got 4 tickets to tomorrow's game. All right,
Hold on.
ladies, we do have margaritas if y'all
sorority?
want. I know y'all have semi tonight, so feel free to go crazy.
What sorority?
DG, baby. EG, baby.
What is?
You gotta do it. Do this. Anchors up. No, thank you for doing it, DG. All right, so LSU baseball, game 1, Purple and Gold World Series. They're wrapping up fall ball. There's a lot of hype around LSU baseball in general. They're coming when you win the national championship,
That's
right?
good, right?
Happens. I think it's strong.
And then not only that, but you have the first and second draft picks go, as well as
That's good too, right? That's
11
good.
other guys,
Yeah.
right? However, you are seeing a lot of new faces on this team. There are a lot of questions on the pitching staff and how the new guys are going to be able to fill the roles of the guys that have left. So, what have you seen throughout fall ball or throughout the process of covering recruiting and just keeping up with LSU baseball? What are you looking for out of this team, or what can we expect to see with some of these new faces?
I want to see what this team. There's a lot.
Hold on, you got to hold the mic.
Sibyllus.
Right
Sibyllus.
here, right here.
Oh my God.
I want to see what the new faces on this team do in terms of. There's a lot of open spots out here. When you and I were at the box, we were talking about open spots. Third base is going to be open right now just because Tommy White's still coming back from the injury. Is Braswell really the real deal at shortstop? Who's going to play second base? Who's going to play first base? Pearson, Kling, and who in the outfield? Because right now, if there was a game that mattered, out of nowhere, Jake Brown, the Sulphur kid, who everybody thought was going to come in and pitch. Remember, I bought his baseball card from you at Cards and Culture.
There it is.
Uh,
That was a great play.
There you go. He's going to be your right fielder right now. Who's behind the plate? And there's a lot of holes. It's loaded with talent, but there's a lot of holes. My question to you is, how much fun was, because even back in your day, with wooden bats and all that kind of stuff,
in your day.
How much fun and how much of a release is the Purple and Gold World Series when it's just like, hey, we're going to go out and have fun? How much fun is those last 3 days?
It's usually the most fun because it's finally not scripted. You know, like Maneri's not being like roll the inning or, well, I guess coaches, whatever, right? Roll the inning or, hey, actually stay out there, like throw a guy on second base. Even when you and I went, right, the first game, it was simulated game. So that's the most fun part. It's just competition again, right? You're going against your guys. It's like, no, purple gold. When I played here, it was steaks on the line. We had a steak dinner and a hot dog dinner. So it was like, winners get steaks, losers get hot dogs. So it was like, all right, we're playing for pride and a little bit of a nice steak dinner and that kind of stuff. And the players had some stuff between the two, you know, of course. But that was the first time you really got to compete. We had a few times at the end of the fall where the pitchers were getting up and it simulated a game. But that's why it's the most fun. It's real competition. You're getting to see guys in actual situations where they need to perform. And that's what I'm most excited about to see tonight is how guys actually perform under the bright lights. You know, when the competition is there, it's not simulated anymore. Everything matters. The coaches are making decisions based on these games. That was the most fun part for me, for sure.
Wait, let me. So, how much weight does this series hold? Like, as far as
I wouldn't think as much as when they went to Lake Charles, get to play McNeese,
to play other teams,
and then when they had the 18 innings against ULL. That is more of a, hey, how do you react when it's someone else?
Right.
It's like that first. It's like the preseason games in the NFL. First time you get to hit somebody that doesn't have your jersey on.
It's a little bit different.
So I think this is going to be more fun and just hey, let's wrap it up and head off into into
stay healthy,
the fall break and all that kind of stuff. I don't think you're going to win a roster spot. I don't think you're going to win a starting spot in these. I think this is more just, all right, let's wrap it up and end on a high note.
You better hold that mic closer so people can hear what you're saying.
Why? It wasn't sounding good?
I don't know, but I'm just making sure.
I think it's more of just a ending on a high note. Let's stay healthy, continue doing what you're doing in a positive manner, and then just head into fall break on a high note.
We never had the opportunity to play against people in the fall, so that was the difference.
Right,
Really?
that's another new thing.
That's why for me,
just purple and gold
exactly.
series.
There was no.
So there was no
we didn't
fall
have
ball
scrimmages,
scrimmage.
we had
I mean,
nothing.
y'all know LSU baseball just played McNeese and ULL. Y'all know how that goes. So
We
y'all
never had
didn't
that.
face.
That's what I'm
anything?
saying. So like purple and gold was literally like that was almost like hitting the guy.
So that was a little bit more. It
that was
held
our
more weight for
competition.
y'all.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
And guys
Understand.
did win spots. Like I remember my sophomore year. So my freshman year, I had 13 innings. I had some injuries. It was like speculation. Oh, Renato might be a guy. He might be the dude. And then I had a really good fall, and it was like, all right, let's see how he does in the Purple and Gold World Series. I got a chance to go 4 or 5 innings and be like, oh, damn, he can like really do this, you know?
Right.
And I performed even better that day. And it was like, all right, he's our Friday guy. You know, it was like, we're going to give Lewis the start, but Renato's going to be the Friday guy. So for us, it was a little different, but I think he's probably right because I didn't even think about that perspective is they've seen other competition. They've seen those guys in those positions for sure.
But remember, this is also, this time a year ago, is when the world was introduced to Paul Skeens. This is when the sweeper was, like he had the sweeper, and then it was, I'm a closer. We've talked about this 100 zillion times. I'm a closer, I'm going to come in, I'm going to throw 94, 95, and I'm going to play third base or whatever and hit 20 home runs. And then it was, holy crap, you have a sweeper and now you're our ace.
Never touching the bat.
It was this time a year ago that we all discovered. I can remember talking to the coaching staff and they were like, I was like, who do you think starts Fridays? You know, Thatcher Hurd? And they're like, no, it's Paul Skeens.
Yeah.
And we were like, what are you talking about? He's supposed to be the closer. We all thought that same thing. So do you see somebody emerge from this like a Cameron Johnson, a Gage Jump, or greatest name, by the way. Who do you see? A Justin Laura. I'm fascinated to see by that and seeing who throws well and what that leads to in terms of this is the last time Jay Johnson will see you in terms of on the baseball field before you come back in January. And as long as you're not fat and out of shape, you're going to be fine.
Well, let me ask you what you look for in a Friday night guy. And then I want to ask you who you think has those characteristics.
And I think that's a great question because exactly what he talked about. They knew that Paul Skeens was that dude.
Well, they didn't know.
But I'm saying
they knew at the conclusion.
That's what I'm saying.
Going through fall ball.
But that's what I'm saying is like when they said that to you of like, oh, it's Paul Skeens, right? That's what she's asking. And like it was a no-brainer because you watched it every time he took the rubber on Friday night.
Right.
It was, you knew that dude was going to win, or he was going to put you in a chance in the best position to win. On a Friday night, you need a guy that's going to be durable, right? You need a guy that's going to be able to battle because it's the first game of a 3-game series. So if a guy can't throw strikes, if he can't compete, if he can't be tough in tough situations and be able to wear 5 runs through 5 innings,
Right.
he can't be a Friday night guy, because that Friday night guy's got to understand you're setting yourself up for the whole weekend. If your Friday guy goes 1 inning and now your bullpen is pitching on Friday night, picking up 8 innings, you're not going to win that series. So you knew with Paul Skeens that he was going 6, 7, 8 innings every single time, first and foremost, right? Then you put in the fact that he's 6'6", and the presence that he brought on the mound, thickness, all that stuff, and then throw in the sweeper, that's a plus pitch, and his velo goes from 94 to 96 to 98 to 101. You know, like, that's your dude.
Ideal.
And so
Yeah.
those are the things you're looking for, and to be able to repeat his delivery, throw strikes, when he misses with a pitch, be able to bounce back, that's the key that you're looking for a Friday night guy. Now, Cam Johnson, I'm so excited to watch, but what I've heard in the scouting reports and things like that, right, are he's a little erratic. He walks guys, he can get behind. He's going to have to be able to curb that stuff, because as a Friday guy, you got to be able to go deep in the games. You can't have 100 pitches in the 4th inning. You just can't. So you might be able to strike people out, but is he getting ahead 0-2, 1-2, and then putting guys away? So that's what I'm going to look for from guys like Cam Johnson, these younger guys that have electric stuff but might not have the command yet to be that Friday guy. We'll see.
Well, you're also putting a lot on Cam Johnson. You're talking about an 18-year-old kid.
I was just using it.
Yeah.
He's had some good
You're talking about an 18-year-old kid. All signs point to a Luke Coleman. This is why he transferred from Bama to get here. Thatcher Hurd, Gage, Justin Laura, the transfer from Creighton up there. And it's just, you don't know. You really don't know. You expect it's going to be an upperclassman, very much like what we talked about with you when it was Lewis gets it, or when you got the ball. It's very rare to give the ball to a true freshman on Friday night and say, go Hoss, and give us what we need to get.
Kevin Gosman would be that guy. That would
Right.
be the only really freshman that's done that.
And that's just freak talent.
Exactly.
Cameron Johnson has the freak talent. Right. But you also have to remember, you have 8 left-handers on this team. You're not going to want to not come into this roster, and when Jay figures this out, when Jay and Yeski sit down and figure this out, there will be a left-handed starter in this lineup. You're not going to throw 3 righties in here. So you may see something emerge from this in terms of, is it Holman? That's what this is for. This is the fun part. And who comes back in January and looks like they give a crap? We always talk about this in fall camp and for football. When somebody comes back from fall camp from football, you can always see, based on the waistline, can they play? If the belly's out, and with the defensive line, if the belly's out, or they're slow, or they just, they had a sucky academic year during the summer, all that kind of stuff. You'll see. You'll see who wants it more. If Cameron Johnson comes back and he hasn't left the building, and he's there every day, the Bregman rule when they gave him the key card to come in.
Yep.
You're going to see.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's switch it over to, you lost a lot of good hitters too. You didn't just lose a bunch of guys in the pitching rotation, but you lost a lot of clutch guys at the plate. What have you seen throughout fall ball that has made you confident or gives you a little bit of security and feeling like we do have guys on this roster that are going to be able to step up and be clutch in those moments where they're needed?
Well, first and foremost, we put this pressure on him when he came in, and I admit fault on this, that Paxton Kling is the next Dylan Cruz. Right. You don't put that on anyone. No one is the next Dylan Cruz. Dylan Cruz is not even the next Dylan Cruz. So you have to go into that thinking you're going to be different. Paxton Kling's going to do his thing, but he's going to do it in a different way. You return a lot that has seen a lot of action here. Pearson in left.
Yeah.
Tommy White, once he's healthy, Tommy White is, has been gone for the entire fall, cleaned up some stuff in the shoulder, he'll be fine. Braswell has proven that he can hit the ball against, ULL McNeese, and he's getting the at-bats at short. I still don't know about second base because I don't know if Millam's going to be on this team at the end of the fall. I don't know if Guidry is going to, just be in the infield, or is he going to be behind the plate. Brady Neal is healthy. Travinsky, Jared Jones. Does Jared Jones, you and I talked about this at the box when we were there, does Jared Jones turn the corner and become that I can hit 300 and not just hit 260 with 20 bombs? Right. So the talent is there, and then you have the freshmen coming in, the Jake Browns of the world. So pre-conference is going to be fun. I get to go to the Shriners Classic in Houston.
Sick.
That's going to be fun
Sick.
because you're still going to be figuring a lot of stuff out. There is not a set 9 of, if we're playing for a national championship tomorrow, here's my 9 and here's who we go with. And that's how it's supposed to be. That's what pre-conference is supposed to be for. Figuring out how people are and how people can bounce back and how they react in certain situations.
I'm going to kind of piggyback on that because to me, again, you don't want to ever put this on Kling, but from day one, that was the guy that's always, when he showed up on campus, I thought he was going to be a big part of the team last year. He wasn't ready, and that's okay. That's part of it, right? That's part of your development. But I think this year he's got to turn that page. He was was he the top recruit in high school coming in, right? Number 1 recruit. He's from the Northeast, so adjusting. I grew up in Jersey. My freshman year, I pitched 13 innings. I had injuries. I battled things. I came back and it worked out for us, right? So I look for him to be able to have that experience, almost like a redshirt year, and he got to learn behind Dylan Cruz. To me, he's one of the big pieces. If he's going to be our center fielder, he's going to be leadoff, maybe 1, 2, or 3 somewhere in the lineup. He's got to be that guy for me. And again, Jared Jones, to me, he's got to be that 3-hole, 4-hole guy that's going to protect Tommy White in front of him or behind him. And that means that he can't bat 260 and he's going to strike out 3 times and maybe run into a ball every now and then, right? And so that to me is the big development. And then I talked about this all last year. There's always going to be 1 or 2 guys that develop throughout the year if you're going to win a championship, right?
Absolutely.
And that's what I'm going to look for. Is there's going to be a freshman, there's going to be a transfer, it might be the shortstop, like that kind of stuff. Who is it that's going to be that guy?
Progresses throughout, right?
Exactly. So that's what I'm looking for from this team. So and the catcher too. I think that's going to be a big thing.
I do want to ask, and again, you cover it so greatly. Hayden Travinski wears the number 8. He's taken on a leadership role. But what do you think happens with the catcher position?
I think this is Brady Neal's job.
Really?
I think Brady Neal being healthy, and it's still Brady Neal's job. He's the best catcher and hitter on the team. Malazzo's the best catcher and hitter, when you combine
together, right?
Malazzo's the best catcher.
Right.
Travinski's the best power hitter.
100%.
But he has both.
And Brady Neal is the best catcher and the best blend.
Right.
It's his job headed into it. And Travinski, I'll be honest with you, I didn't see this coming from him last year. I thought Travinski's going to be like good for him, and on senior day we're going to clap and go, oh, hey, thank you for everything. But he proved that he can still hit the ball and give you what you need. But you also saw the change in Omaha when they went from Travinski to Malazzo behind the plate, how it improved and helped the pitchers. And Brady Neal wasn't healthy. Brady Neal's healthy now. But Brady Neal also has to prove he can last an entire season behind the plate.
That is a big question, for sure.
What I'm interested with, and you talked about this with Tommy White. White slides into the Cruz role of last year, but then who slides into the Tommy White role of this year, where they both protected each other in the lineup? Is that a Jared Jones, or is that a Braswell, where he can come in? Because you're going to have protection, because right now, opposing pitchers and opposing lineups are going to come into a game and say, that guy, Tommy White, is not going to beat us.
Exactly.
And we're going to make a Paxton Kling. We're going to make a Michael Braswell beat us. We're going to make a Jared Jones prove that he can hit 320.
Exactly.
What kind of effect do you think Michael Braswell is going to have on this team?
We don't know. We honest to God don't know because he
hasn't. Well, no, you don't know. Yeah, but if you had to make a speculation or some sort of...
What you hope is that he's going to hit better than what Jordan Thompson did last year.
Okay.
The problem is he just hasn't proven it yet. That's why he's not at South Carolina right now.
Right.
He wanted the at-bats to where he can come in. He can prove that he can be that guy. I'm looking more for a 330 to 345 batting average from Michael Braswell. Not a 30 home run guy. That is not who you're going to get that from.
Right.
The power on this team is going to come from Pearson. It's going to come from behind the plate. It's going to come from Tommy White. And it's going to come from Jared Jones and hopefully Paxton Kling. Right. You're not looking for 20-plus home runs out of Michael Braswell. You want a consistent you want a consistency at shortstop, and then you want hit 320, hit 330, steal a couple bases.
Exactly.
Right.
I see him even, I don't want to diminish the 9-hole, but the 9-hole to me is actually a really important spot in the lineup. If he can bat 320, I like him in the 9-hole because depending on who leads off, if it's Kling, after that, that kind of guy, if you can bat 320 down there and be gap to gap and control the bat and play a solid shortstop, that's great. But he could be, I think his ceiling is a 2-hole hitter too, where after Paxton Kling, that guy comes up, gap to gap guy, set up guys, second and third for Jared Jones or Tommy White, right, where they have an opportunity to drive runs. So that's what I'm, again, exactly the same way. I don't see him hitting, we don't need him to hit more than 10 homers. Hit 10 homers, give me doubles and triples and be able to steal bags and be dynamic and play a solid shortstop. That's what I think we're looking for from him, especially as a transfer coming from an SEC school too.
For sure.
All right, can we talk about the 2024 class then? Because
I was gonna ask about recruiting. We do.
light up?
I know he lit up. I'm gonna say this. We do have to keep it short and sweet. And there's one more question I want to ask because first pitch is at 4. But I do want to hear you talk about the 2024 recruiting class.
All right, ask your question.
Question first.
No, that's after. Go ahead.
Okay.
2024 class.
Do you remember the Fab Five? Are you old enough to remember the Fab Five? Like
The Michigan?
the Michigan
Yes,
Fab
yes,
Five,
yes.
Chris
Are
Webber,
you old enough?
Juwan Howard,
yeah.
Jimmy King, Ray Jackson, Jalen Rose.
Yeah, I know the 3. I didn't know the other 2 that didn't make the same names as the
I
other
know,
3.
I know. I was like in college and you were in junior high. We got it.
I was in elementary school.
Yeah. It's by far the greatest recruiting class in the history of the sport. And I know Twitter went all...
That's like a really, really bold statement.
Like, it's sick, man.
History of the sport?
History of the sport. Connor Griffin, you got half of the top 10 in the country.
That's pretty badass. What are the chances that they land here, though?
Okay, easy there. I'm realistic. I'm here in Baton Rouge.
Y'all gotta hold the
Then
mic
don't
up.
sign up. This is the part that, am I allowed to say piss off?
Yeah.
Okay. This is the part that pisses me off about people.
Oh, you're off the show. You can't say
You know, with the whole,
No cursing.
What happens if they're not going to show up? Then don't sign. Yeah. Why do you recruit?
marketing.
Yeah. Cameron Johnson showed up.
You're right.
Dylan Cruz showed up.
You're right. That's why you signed him.
Anthony Renato showed up.
I was not. Thank you for that, though. But I was not in that category. Thank you, though. That was nice.
Right, but they show up. Jonathan Zerang showed up. He's long before your time. But
I
yeah,
don't know that name.
it's the
That's why you signed him.
you get yes.
That's
You
why
get
it's fine. In
you
case
get
they show up.
you get 3 of them to show up.
Right.
You go 3 for 20. It's still the best recruiting class in the history of the school.
Who are the 3 that you would love to show up here? Who do you think's going to show up?
Okay, so shooting for the hottest girl at the bar to show up and date you here. You want Connor Griffin, you want Derek Curiel, and you want Cade Arenby. The
You got
catcher,
Cade Arenby's.
yes, the catcher. I have those cards at Cards and Culture. All 3 of those kids. It's the class, and we'll get in deeper into this in future episodes. But the class is it's loaded.
Yeah. They were
You're
all-
talking about possibly 4 first-round picks in this class.
Wow.
We thought Jay Johnson
Wow.
had it good with Cruz and Stevens.
Right.
Imagine
Right.
these kids in the draft next year, too. Like, he's just going to be, again, Jay Johnson's
That's why
building a brand.
when
over
we
here.
when we did the story on the 2023 class, when Cameron Johnson came in, no one expected him to show up. We did the story where it was we knew Blake Mitchell was gone, and if Cameron Johnson can't, there's not a
Yeah.
chance in hell Cameron Johnson shows up. Well, Cameron Johnson let it be known where it's like a hey, don't draft me. I'm going to LSU. Jay said this, and Jay doesn't lie. Jay doesn't know how to lie to the media. It's one of the greatest things about him. Keep that up, coach. He said Cameron Johnson can be the #1 overall pick in 2026. That's how talented he is.
I love that.
And for him to show up.
Yeah.
So it's,
I love that too.
Me too.
yeah.
That's
it's,
awesome.
The way LSU sports are going, too, like, I feel like if he developed, like, I like that.
We could go. All right, my last question, because again, first pitch
What
at
time
4.
is it?
It is 3:40, and we have an awesome crowd that I do want to get to talk
Thank
to.
you
I
to the
appreciate
Modesto
all of
people,
y'all.
by the way.
And shout out to Modesto.
Good stuff.
Hang tight. I'm coming to see all of y'all. My last question to you. What are the odds, or how likely do you think it is that LSU gets back to Omaha?
Ooh. You
This
can't
year.
make you
I know,
can't make that
look,
call in November.
I know you can't.
because injuries,
Right.
and you just don't know.
What
think
needs to happen?
I think the floor for this team is a top 8 national seed.
Okay.
I think they're one of the best 8 teams in the
That's the
country
floor.
right now. That's the floor.
Yeah.
Because that gets you to be able to host a super regional. Obviously, the minimum is making a sub regional.
And let me stop you because
Sub-regional.
the reason what's up? The reason I asked this question is because there was a lot of hype around women's basketball. And the off season, it was they're going to two-peat, they're gone back, and now you look at the beginning of their season, and there's a lot of questions on where that is. And that's not to downplay what they're doing. It's a great team, but I wonder, is that going to be the same narrative for LSU baseball?
No, because Kim is having to deal with them teaching them how to win and teaching them how to act like winners. This is different. You're talking about, Kim's never had to deal with this before in terms of managing egos this much. And that's not a shot at the money.
It's not.
Haley Van Lith, go make your money.
Yeah.
Angel Reese, go make your money. But we're in new territory in terms of women basketball because LSU women's basketball has never been okay, what do you mean we lost a game?
Right.
This team will have more losses heading into the NCAA tournament this year than they did last year, but they will probably still be a better team.
Right.
And I'm sorry to say this, but they may be a better team at the end of the year and not win a national title because you need a little bit of luck there. You need Caitlin Clark to go beat South Carolina to where you don't have to play them and win the national title.
Right.
So Kim, it's different, and I think Jay, this team is hungry. Jay eats, lives, and breathes this stuff.
Yep.
But it's also his first national title, so it's a legitimate question. How does he act like this? Does he walk around like his poop don't stink, I'm the national champ kind of thing? You just don't know. So that's going to be the fun part. That's what fall ball's for. That's what pre-conference is for. And to where you start to figure yourself out. Take Kim, for example. She'll have that, I have zero doubt she'll have that team ready come conference.
Oh, absolutely.
Just like Jay will have a lineup and he'll have this team ready. This team is loaded again. They're a different kind of talented team as they were last year. Because right now they don't have that dog at the top on Friday night. They may end up having him, but you don't have that now. And you're not, honest to God, you're not supposed to have that on, what is today, November 16th? You're not supposed to have your dog right there where you put it out there. That's what fall ball's for, and I'm excited we're going to go check it out in a couple minutes.
We are. And we're going to wrap up. I'm going to let you.
Whatever.
Is that all you had to say?
That's it.
Check out the site.
Yeah.
We have good stuff.
He's got great content. It's 3:43, first pitch is in 17 minutes. So we're going to wrap up. Thank you. You guys were great. At some points, they were having their own conversation. I was just listening like everybody else in here. But this was awesome. I want to continue to do this for sure. You have great coverage of LSU baseball.
I want to do this again here.
Yeah. Look, Modesto, and I assure you that the crowd here thinks the same thing. These margaritas are probably the best spicy margs
within walking distance.
in Baton Rouge.
You can see Alex
You can walk to the box.
Right there.
You can walk to the box.
That's right.
So shout out to Modesto for allowing us to do this.
Thank you guys.
Shout out to you for showing up. I do want to give a lot of love to everybody sitting here, and I know you guys can't see the support that we got today, but because we're a small business and we are trying to grow culture media, the support of you guys showing up today means a whole lot more than y'all could ever know. So thank you for supporting Valley Vision. And to everybody that watches, comments, shares, subscribes, you have no clue how much of an impact that has on what we're trying to build, because we are trying to build something great. He's popping the gamma, girls. He's popping the gamma. Go DD. You heard the claps. DD, baby. But we really do appreciate y'all. We're going to keep doing these live shows on site, hopefully again at Modesto, maybe some other places too. And yeah, that was LSU Baseball. We're going to wrap up. Thank y'all for being here.
Yes.
And we will be filming content tomorrow with the vlog. Grace Kelly is helping co-host that. Game day in the life of the coach's daughter. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
Press the like button.
Hit the like button. Subscribe. We
Check out
appreciate y'all,
Modesto. Check out
and we'll see y'all
Modesto and
soon.
come eat some food.
Come eat some